Okay, so we're back, and we have Charles on the line for those of you that are listening here in Florida, up in Virginia, or around the country, fans of Charles and fans of Soul Talk. We were just talking on the break, and I was reminded of the time that when Charles was living in Florida, but it was 2 years ago now, Charles, that my mother had a heart attack, and he has a song that he played, and I'll let him tell the story about. He played for his son when his son was a baby, and he called that song Ticker. And so he went up to the hospital and played my mom's very favorite song that he does called Katie's Song, which we're going to be playing during the show today. And he played Ticker, and she could actually feel the energy in her heart and felt that healing energy from his song. And so if you know anything about Charles, when he plays, his aura gets really, really huge, and the energy radiating off of him is very healing. So it's not even just his music. He's channeling source energy, or consciousness, or his soul is really working through him, whatever we want to call it, but it's a very powerful energy. So hopefully you'll be able to hear that today through the radio, and I'm sure you will be able to. So maybe Mom could tell a little bit about that time.
I was just going to say, I felt the living proof of that, of the healing energy of his songs, because my heart was in the process of healing, and when he played that song, I could feel that energy in my heart. It was like it sent up a vibration in my heart. It was very, very cool.
That means more to me than you will ever know. And good morning. I don't, that was one of the most, I don't know, that day was unique. That was certainly one of the more emotional experiences of my life. The song was written a long time ago now, when my son was having some issues with his heart. It was nothing bad, but when you're a new parent and you find out that the first doctor's appointment you're going to go to is to a pediatric cardiologist, you tend to freak out about everything. And that was, I don't know, it was a long process, but that song was how I healed and how I tried to help my son heal. And it was a problem that never surfaced at all. And everything was fine. And if it was the song's fault, great. But I don't know. I do what I can, and as little as it is, the music's kind of how I deal with situations like that. And to be able to take something that was so specific to my life and so guided towards healing a specific organ of the human body, to be able to pass that on in that environment and kind of see, I mean, that was a good test of whether or not it's working, and I think it did. So
yeah, I think it did too. I could definitely feel it. So that was great.
Yeah, that was completely awesome. And that time frame was really powerful for all of us, I think, because Mom was the one that was going through it, and she was in the hospital. But I mean, like, I remember, Charles, all of us coming together at my house because we all lived very close to each other, and we had dinner together that, because we were trying to be supportive of each other, and everybody's trying to be supportive of me because she was my mother. And we had healers coming in and out of her room and healing her, and it was.
I did some long distance healing on you too.
It was powerful.
Thank you.
I mean,
That did.
I sent it out to the network. She probably had like 500 healers working on her remotely, and it's really it really reminds you of a sense of community. So when you're out there sitting there alone, sometimes just know that there's people out there that love you and care about you. So. I don't know if Charles could you play Ticker on the radio, or is it?
Yeah, I've got a different guitar than the one I usually play.
Okay.
But it's certainly doable. This is Ticker.
Awesome.
Wow.
That was great.
See, that's incredible. And you can feel that in your heart.
You can. I did.
Vicky or Charles, Sylvia Ann was saying you feel that right in your heart. It opens up your heart chakra.
That was beautiful. Thanks.
Yeah,
Awesome.
definitely.
Thank you. No, I know when like the little thing happens, and yeah, my whole right arm is completely numb right now, and I go into this weird cold sweat kind of thing, and it just happened. It started off weird because this guitar is shifting out of tune because I just dropped it down to this weird tuning, and it started shifting on me, so I started panicking, and I was like half tuning the guitar as I was playing the first part, but then the second half of it started going. I was like, oh, wait a minute, it's happening. Okay, cool. All right, we can move on. You can analyze the tapes later. I don't know what happens when it happens, but whatever happens, it just did happen towards the end of that day.
Well, that's good. We didn't know that you were adjusting anything. You're pretty good when you can play and adjust things and it doesn't miss a beat.
Yes.
I try and keep the wizard behind the curtain.
Yeah, there you go.
The great and wonderful Oz.
And one of the reasons why I wanted to have Charles on the show ever since I started the show, and at first we were doing musicians and spiritual teachers, but Charles is now both a musician and a spiritual teacher, and so I haven't had a chance to connect up with him. He was here at Harvey Milk Festival back in May, and we weren't able to connect up at that point. But
it was a crazy trip.
Yeah, I heard, and I really wanted to be able to have him on the show, and so I'm really glad we finally met up. But the thing about Charles is that, like I was saying, is that he's taught me a lot about music and music therapy, and I was a musician years and years ago, and I still am when you consider I played music. One day, him and I were sitting over. He was living in Gulfport, and I went over to visit him, and I spent the afternoon with him, and literally we sat there and played with music, and we played with the fact that while he was playing, he was opening up parts of my body. And so, I've done tons of meditation CDs, but I know him and I have talked about for a while creating a meditation CDs with sound, and then with my voice and stuff like that. And but the thing is, you guys, is while you're out there, just really if you're not listening to music, that makes the soul dance, and it makes the soul just go into flow, and we gotta let go. And so, like, when you're sitting here listening to Charles play, just get into it.
Absolutely.
And so
heal yourself. Give yourself permission to heal yourself.
That's how we heal ourselves of a lot of things, by just letting go and enjoying something like music.
And while you guys are at it, if you go onto my Facebook and go to my videos, there's several videos of Charles playing at Mystical Sense and at the Harvey Milk Festival 2 years ago. So you can check them out there, too. And, Charles, what's your website? It's satellitekill.com?
Yeah, satellitekill.com. Most of the activity goes through Facebook just because it's the most regularly accessible social area. But we do keep a blog and the new release stuff posted at satellitekill.com. There's links to all the video and audio and other stuff that's been out there. All of that's on that page right now. Most everything that's currently out there that's on one of my hosted sites or something that I've been able to link to. Nice. You can find it all at satellitekill.com.
Nice. Cool. How are we doing this now? We need to go to a break. Okay, and we'll be right back with more of Charles Reynolds, and we'll probably be just talking about more consciousness stuff and music.
Okay.
All right, so we're back, and just had a commercial break and a song. And last segment we heard Ticker from Charles Reynolds, and we were just having a conversation on the break and just laughing and carrying on. Charles, tell me what's going on with music and stuff like that. I know you're trying to get back down to Florida. You did Harvey Milk this year, and you got a new album that's just released. And what's new going on?
Yeah, it's been an interesting year. October of last year, I left Florida and moved up to a place called Grandin Village in Roanoke, and it's kind of, I know I have a love-hate relationship with the town in general, and I've not had the best experience or the best I don't know, the energy just felt always kind of a bit off, and but I come back and find that that's changed greatly. There's a thriving music scene here now. Before you used to kind of have to do whatever it took to get a gig in this town, and that often meant putting your originals on the back burner or whatever. But here there's a really good local scene that thrives on original music. There's Joy Truskowski, who lives just next door over in Grandin Village, which I'm sure we'll talk about more. She has a band, Another Roadside Attraction, and they went to go play just out in the streets in Grandin Village, and it was a remarkable crowd. It was people who were completely in it for them, for themselves. Like, it was just people enjoying the moment. And they ended the show, and the lead singer, Jordan, was like, all right, we're going to do one more for you. Do you want original or cover? And everyone just screamed without hesitation, original. Like, it was like, don't let us miss a chance to hear original music. And that's the spirit here. And it reminds me a lot of what drew me to Tampa in the first place. I really didn't expect to find much in the way of music, and spent the whole beginning of the year kind of shut in here, just working constantly and doing what I had to survive. And as I poked my head out for the past couple months, it's like, wait a minute, there's a lot going on here. This is good. And projects are developing with each of these individuals. I'm excited about things that are going on with so many people here now, and that's not the direction I expected this to take. This was a personal return back for me. I had to come back here for personal reasons, and it was like I just kind of gave up on music being a part of it, and poked my head out a few times, go to a few shows here and there, and was just blown away by not only the talent, but the support of that talent.
Yeah.
And it's been growing from there. We're talking about doing theatrical performances, progressive symphonic pieces, drone music, things that I experienced in Florida with some of the most exceptional players in the world, and I'm going to bring that back here and continue to build in that same kind of format. A lot of exploration, a lot of experimentation, a lot of things that are going to push it. The CD that just came out, which is up, it's online. I've got it on my Facebook and everything. Find it. If you need any information, let me know. But that kind of represents the more song-based structure of the musical projects that have happened over the past few years, and the new direction that's coming out of that. I kind of did that album to get it out of my system, because every time I play, someone wanted something with the vocals on it. Somebody wanted something that had more of a radio song, and the new direction isn't necessarily going that route. It's more of a minimalist composition attempt at trying to push myself and just the talent of the people around me to a level that we can only get to when we reach that vibrational level, that group level where you feel it. It's what we were talking about earlier. It's the same thing as healing energy. The only difference in the energy that we're discussing, I don't have the dialogue. I'm not trained in any of this specific language. I found my own niche, and we just kind of carve through that. And that energy is the same thing that, as a musician, when we get together in the same room, we start feeling off each other. We're surfing that wave. And if that wave is therapeutic, if that wave is helpful to the people around us at the time, that's secondary. That's great. But like we're when you're around people who reach that calling where it's just you have to do it a certain way. You all feel, for art's sake, do it. It's a different experience, and it doesn't convey radio friendly song material necessarily all the time. Sometimes it's 20 minutes of piano noise, and it's the right mood for the right time, and it's all about a longer idea of a performance rather than just doing a CD or whatever. Having these small meditative performances here locally, 20 people or so. We have this huge yard in the backyard garden area. Having people be able to go out there and just be together, do art as we play. It's a nice environment, and it's completely against what I've done professionally, with the idea of you have to do this to survive, you have to do this to make money, you have to. I've just completely given up on that, just completely abandoned the idea of it. Now it's about these people are orbits of my orbit, and if someone's not into it, if you say, hey, I want to do this crazy music and I want you to be a part of it, they're like, oh, I don't know, and they start thinking about what they need to do to market it or whatever. It's not right. If you just say that to somebody and they're like, yeah, okay, well, let's do whatever. That atmosphere, it's camaraderie. It's important.
Yeah, and the marketing comes naturally if it's supposed to be there.
And the players and all the things. Like, I could sit here and say, oh, I don't have this one, I need this one instrument, I need somebody to play it. I could look all over Craigslist, I could ask everybody, and it's like this is going to land in my lap the second that the mic's set up. Yeah. Or whatever, and the same goes with, I assume the same goes with the marketing side of it, because my hope is that energy is, when it's all legitimate and it's all real, the people who get it will get it, and if you don't, I'm kind of okay with that. Like, I don't hold it against you. Just let us do what we're doing, and the people that show up, they come in and they, not only do they genuinely appreciate the music, they usually want to get involved some way, and that's what I'm doing this for. I want to record and perform and play with as many people as I can.
That's awesome.
It's why I've enjoyed it. I can sit here by myself in a cave and make album after album, and that magic's just kind of gone for me right now. I'm trying to have it be this sort of fellowship, and that's coming around full circle. Like, it's become what it's all about.
Well, you know what you're talking about is that you and I have talked about this before. It's just being in you call it the wave, I call it the flow.
Yeah.
And it's just different terminology, but it's the same thing. It's like when you're talking about being in a room jamming, playing with musicians with heart, and you're feeling that energy. You had to let go of all that expectation of the way it should be, and it just started happening, and the magic started happening. And that's why people do art, and that's why people do spiritual stuff, and that's why people do this because they want to have that connection, and hence the reason why we call this Soul Talk, because we want to talk about connection. Of the heart.
It's very true. The atmosphere that you create, it's the same as what we're doing. I mean, it's once you get it to that fundamental energy level, it's not what you're doing anymore. It's the fact that you're simply being in that moment, and that what I'm scared of is that I know how hard it is. And only in the past few years has the spiritual community, the people who were even open to these kind of conversations, only recently has that come into the fold. And my concern is that there's such, not opposition to that mindset, but it's just not what people consider real life a lot of the time. And it's like when you can break down that barrier and see the simplicity of your existence, people in your capacity with healing, with just simply raising awareness. It's the same thing as music, and the risk that musicians face just from school being like, you can have band, but that's only because you have to have two things that are not math and English and science and everything, and we're not going to take it seriously, but you can go do that and play like you're going to play at gym, and then when you come back, we're going to get back to doing whatever gets you prepared to walk into the industrial world.
And Charles,
that's killing. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. We're just coming up to the end of this segment.
Oh, that's good. No, that's fine.
I'm going to hold your thought for you until we come right back.
Indeed.
And we're here with Charles and Sylvianne and Vicky and Mom.
Laurie.
Hi there.
Jeremy's mom.
Notice I put a hand
Laurie.
in the camera.
McDonald.
I put a hand in the camera here. This is me talking.
Oftentimes I do a lot of serious shows, and this is a serious show too. But these are, of course, all my friends, and we can have family, and we can have a good time and kind of let loose. I mean, I enjoy the doctors and all the spiritual teachers I speak to as well. But I think that a show of just sitting here and being from the heart is a good one, too.
Pure love. I think it's awesome, too. Thank you for letting me be a part of this.
Yeah, I totally forgot that you knew Todd, Charles, because he spoke at Harvey Milk when you performed. So.
Yeah, I was very pleased. I saw the post about the book and was thrilled. I'm excited not only to see what you've come up with, but I'm glad that you've got such good help. I'm very happy for you. I'm excited. yeah, the whole Harvey Milk experience was great, and I'm glad to see that community continuing to build upon itself as well.
Yeah, Shannon's done a really good job.
Shannon's awesome. I almost cussed on the air. Shannon's awesome.
It's okay. It's internet radio, so
It's okay. It's allowed.
Vicky won't hurt us too much if we cuss on the radio.
Yeah, it's only a 25-cent fine. I gotta make money here somehow. No, 25 cents.
It's a quarter and a cup if you curse.
That's the way I gotta pay for the station this month.
Anyhow, so I cut you off in your mid-thought. Where you're
it's fine. It's fine. And what I was kind of getting at was just that with the growth and the acceptance of so much in the way of this outside the box thinking, that the stuff that when you can talk to somebody on that level, it's the same energy as music. It's just somewhere down the line, music got set aside as this thing that you like. It just drives me nuts because you can just see them saying, okay, well, we've got to have culture. Let's make them do band, and then we'll make them do football, and then we'll put them back to school. And it's like that environment of the educational system has been the way as long as I've known it, and band becomes minimalized in a lot of the same ways that the work that's being done here. But when you get around people who just don't get it, it almost infuriates you, where you're just like,
Yes.
I could do so much with my little finger right now, and it's just your universe can't see it. And I see a lot of similarities between music and that representing a growth in people's acceptance of appreciation for the arts, for this metaphysical level, and it's just growing all of a sudden, and it's happened so fast. We've talked about it before. You see things happen in these immediate bursts, and I feel that we're in one of those, not only spiritually, metaphysically, but also musically, creativity, art, all of it's like the artists, the people that I know who are sitting there in their rooms with canvas that used to be blank, they're all covered. Like that's the weather report I'm watching.
Yeah. What you're reading is the energy, just the wave of energy that's going on right now. That's how I feel.
Everywhere, and when you're in its absence, it's and you feel it, and you can know to run. You just go to a situation that's better, because there's always one that's better. You can always get comfortable, and when you get comfortable, you become free, and that's an important part of it all.
Yeah.
It's just being comfortable with yourself too, and who you are. I don't know.
And the society, the structure that we live in, is not conducive to that kind of thought.
No.
Get in line, wait for your meal, move on, do this before tomorrow. And that's all anyone grows up with. And to think outside of that, that's weird.
Yeah, it's like you were talking about school earlier, and they're so busy trying to teach children to be round pegs to go in round holes, but when instead of being themselves, they want everybody to be the same, and everybody to do the same, and dress the same, and speak the same, and it's like, why can't you just encourage them to be who they are, the individuals?
Right, because that gets people out of the line, and the whole goal here is that we've got to keep people going into a normal workplace to keep America the big, strong, free place. Well, that's not working. I mean, imagine if we were respected as a hub for the arts. Imagine if we had this Amsterdam-esque aura of acceptance and universal art for the sake of art's sake. Like, imagine if that was what America was known for. Like, right now, I'm having a hard time being proud of anything that's going on in our society. And yet we have these little moments during the weekend where we get together and it just glows. The music gushes out of people. It's like, oh, I've got hope again.
Good.
Let's follow that line. Like, as a people, let's do something about it. Let's know what makes you feel right instead of doing what you've been told you have to do.
You know what's powerful is that the part I'm writing in the book right now, I'm talking about how we change our world, and I'm talking about how it starts with us. Like, so we might not be proud of what's going on in the world, but we can be proud of ourselves. And if we emanate being proud of ourselves, and people see that, it does change people. I mean, I've seen that over and over again, but people have changed around me because I just was an example, or I've seen Sylvie Ann be an example, or Mom, or you be an example. And people just change. And I know a lot of people out there listening aren't necessarily Christian, but the fact that, and I'm not either, but the fact that this particular phrase makes sense. When two or more gather in my name, and he's talking about consciousness, when two or more gather in with my name of consciousness, which means all of us, oneness, then it just means we're in alignment. So right now in this show, we're all in alignment.
And everybody listening to us,
and everybody
too.
listening to us.
That web
That's the
reaches
way
out
it goes.
so far.
Exactly.
And just to the people that know us, there's people who may not even know this is going on, but they have this tinge in their gut. They're I want to call Jeremy. I wonder what he's up to today. Or just because it'll be someone that we all used to know and we're thinking about them or something, that vibration gets picked up. And it lifts you by the rib cage. And when that starts happening, you know something's there. It's like, this is what it's all about.
Well, check this out. I mean, I'm sure we got a few more minutes in this segment, so I want you guys, everybody here. I mean, Charles, you just connect to my heart because you and I have done it before, and everybody here in the studio connect hearts, and we're going to build a heart bridge between Tampa, Florida, or St. Petersburg, Florida, to Virginia. And I know you feel that. And I know everybody out there on the listening feels this. And in the YouTube broadcast, when you're listening to this later, you'll feel that. We are building a bridge. There are 5 people here that we know of connected.
That's very powerful.
And so we just changed the earth right there.
See the bridge.
Yes, I
And
know.
And there's we just caused music to happen right there. And if you guys stop for just a second, I can't speak for Charles, but I know that when I'm speaking, I feel a music. And I've talked to Stephen Garrett, and he said I can hear the music of the universe going on in my head. That's why I can write songs so fast.
Yep.
And the musicians that really, really get it. This is why I have a musical background, because I can literally hear a song going on in my head, and if I stop and shut up long enough, I'm dancing with God.
Amen.
Absolutely.
And so,
Amen.
and if we can dance with, you can call it goddess, I don't care, whatever you want to call it. If we're dancing with that, then we're in the flow.
Dancing with each other.
We're dancing with each other.
But now, and you imagine, we've just experienced that through that common language. We have that you use the music as that tie to bring that emotional sensation that's so unnameable to a relative point.
Yeah.
Now, if you imagine if you just take away the music program from schools.
Yeah.
Imagine what you've done to disenchanting, to disconnecting the entire that generation from people having a chance of having what we had right then.
Yeah. And guys, we'll be right back, and we'll come back up on our next break and talk more about this. We're having a really good, strong connection here. We'll be right back. Okay, and so we're back in that the very last song. We played 2 songs. The last song was actually one by Joy, and I cannot pronounce her name. Truskowski. There you go. And if you want to go to my Facebook, it'll also be posted on the Soul Talk fan page and on the Soul Talk website here probably the next day or so. But it has a fan page called "Seeking the Good Life in America," and that song we just played is the theme song for that documentary. So written by Joy. So Charles, you were telling us some awesome news on the Are you able to talk about that on the air or? Not
I haven't discussed with them whether or not we are able to do so. So I would. There's some really interesting new developments coming up that I'm very excited about, and we will be keeping you apprised of everything as it happens, because it involves. Oh, there's so much I can't even talk about it. I don't know that I can. I don't know that I can publicly mention anything, but I'm very excited about some new projects that is going to go into a new medium for me, and that will be. I hope to be responsible for some music in an upcoming project that will be very important, and I will keep you all posted with as much information as I can have the official. In fact, if we take another break before we come back, I'll try and contact her. I don't know. Blah 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 blah. Yes, there's new stuff going on that I am kind of not sure if I'm allowed to talk about. But it's very exciting, and I will be letting you guys know as soon as I am allowed to mention it officially.
Well, and trust me to put you on the spot, too. So.
Hey, that's okay.
Yeah, he's very good at that.
You're live on international radio.
I know, I already feel like I'm
It's
like,
only the
I don't
World
know,
Wide
we're just sitting here
Web.
talking, but I'm thinking back, I'm like, my God, what if I, like, what if I said?
So, you know, and it's interesting because I remember the space we were in when we first met. Actually, I remember the first day I met you. Actually, the first time I met you, I walked by you at Sacred Grounds. The second time I met you was at Chili's on Fowler in Tampa. And you were there with Carla, and you were looking for, you just moved. Like, not even, I don't even think you'd been here a month.
Yeah, no, that was very early on.
And we were talking. I don't think I saw you for another couple months, and then we would hang out. You'd come over to the house, and
I think we had just, you know what it was? I had just played the first show, the Mystical Sense. They were the first to book me, and we had just played the Mystical Sense show, and we were going to try and find something to eat afterwards. I think.
That's right.
I think.
That's right. Yeah, you're right because I spoke that day. At
Yeah,
Mystical
yeah.
Sense.
You had just gotten done too.
And so, yeah, I remember this particularly. I remember the stories that you found Sacred Grounds from Virginia.
Yeah, we came there looking for open mics. We had gone to this middle ground of Ocala, and we were trying to plan where to go in regards to making music. What this was all about, and I went straight to Tampa. We had a list of 5 open mics. And we went to Sacred first and never left. Like, metaphorically, never left. We have been there so long, and it was home right away. It was just that was the hub there. That was.
That is the feeling you get from that place. It's like it's home when you go in there.
Yeah,
That's true.
and it was immediate. It wasn't the kind of thing where I was like, I don't know. It was just like I looked at Katie, my cousin who was there with me, and I was like, "Look, we're gonna kind of have to stay here." And it was like that moment of, "Oh, you mean tonight? Oh, you don't mean tonight." like we just figured out where we're going. We had no direction whatsoever. It was just simply a last ditch stab at this. If I'm going to do anything, I'm going to do it with my whole soul, and we're going to go right now. And that was where we landed, and we really, we never left.
Yeah.
I have to show you something really cool because I was just going back to look at the videos I recorded of you at Mystical Sense on May 23rd. It was the day after Harvey Milk, the very first Harvey Milk. And it's one of the songs you were playing, Your Electric. And Chet was there, and Brandon, I believe.
Yeah, Brandon. Yeah,
and,
I forgot you had video of that.
And I'm getting ready to post it on the next break and tag you in it. But the significance of why I'm bringing this up is that video is 11 minutes and 11 seconds long.
Wow.
Nice.
And so I'm looking here, and I hadn't noticed that it's been up there for almost 2 years. And I'm like, 11:11. My soul brother. So it's right there because. And that's the thing, is like all these little things. It's one of the things I'm writing about in the book. It's so incredible. It's like all these little tiny little things like that. That's magic. Everybody's looking for this woo woo, but the fact that 11:11, which is about 1,111 angels sitting on this earth to change this earth in human bodies, that's very powerful. And all the people in this right now are those angels, and there's more out there that we haven't even met. And so, I mean,
you've got people who grow up just thinking, "Oh, the clock says that. Make it's happy minute, whatever. Make a wish." Like at some point, they're going to cross that threshold of, "Wait a minute, This is tapping into something very real.
This is really true. I totally agree. When it comes to 11/11, I'm always saying a quick prayer of gratitude to the universe for where I am at that moment. And it's not only grounding, but it also brings about the next miracles that God's going to give me. I know it does. It works every time.
And just so you know, Charles, Sylviana is starting a new radio station called Be God, so Be Goodness Over Doubt Radio.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
It's already up right now, but I think the opening date's going to be at the end of the month. We'll have more information on that. I would absolutely love to have all my friends, spiritual friends and family on it. Anybody, let's talk. Let's soul talk. Soul talk. Let's
talk
do it.
soul to soul.
Soul to soul.
One of these days,
Conversations of the Heart is what Jeremy told me I should have the name of my
Conversation.
Conversations with
my
God.
heart. Conversations with God's already taken by Neil Donald Walsh.
Oh, well. We do that all the time anyway.
I know. It's like it's not exclusive.
And Charles
It's a shameless plug.
And Charles's microphone is sitting on Conversations with God, the book.
That's true. That's the Revelation story. Yeah, Charles, since I've seen you, I've become president of a multimedia group that's actually doing this radio station.
That's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Prez.
Prez, I know. Vicky's the owner, and I'm the president, and it works.
Chairman of the board and CEO.
Yes.
So guys, when you're those out there listening, I'm going to post a few videos of Charles. You're more than welcome to link all these to your Facebook if you'd like. Listen to them as much as you want. It's on, but I'm going to drop them and tag Charles in them as well. You can search me at Jeremy E. McDonald on Facebook, or you can do Charles Reynolds III on Facebook as well. So you can check out his music, and then you can also check out Satellite Kill on Facebook as well. You can search for that, and so you can check out more about
SatelliteKill.com. The Satellite Kill Facebook page is kind of like a billboard.
Yeah.
Like, we're just keeping, because people tend to look for it. But the SatelliteKill.com page, we do update everything there, and all of the video and audio is as current as I can make it.
Yeah. That's good stuff. So.
And I really appreciate what you guys are doing. I mean, it's an internet radio station that's serving its own purpose, but it's also doing something else for me. Like, I've been cooped up in my dark room for like a month. And have had no outside dialogue. So you kind of are like opening up the box on me after being like this shut-in hermit in the dark. And now I'm able to talk to all of you guys.
Good.
And connect with friends and make new ones. And the people that I've met throughout the East Coast are listening. Like my kids are experiencing it. Like this is really special to me. And I just want to say thank you to all of you.
And you're most welcome. And guys, we're going to be right back. And we'll probably play a couple songs on the break. We'll probably play one of Charles's songs as well. So we'll be right back.
Sometimes I question everything. Sometimes I question.
All right, and so we're back with the last segment of Soul Talk here on Saturday morning. Just real quick, next week we have Robin Rice on. She is the organizer of the Awesome Women's Hub and organized 17,000 women on Facebook on a fan page, and is doing music videos across the country to help empower women to be who they are. And the following weekend after that, we're going to have Dr. Amit Goswami on the line. He's from What the Bleep Do We Know, and talking about his new book, The Quantum Activist.
Sweet.
So anyways, just I wanted to give that out there, and you can check out more at www.soultalkradio.org. So anyways, Charles, I guess we played Katie's song one more time, and so we're going to be playing the next song on the next segment will be, what's the name of it again? I'm calling you. I tried.
I tried.
So we introduced the wrong song, so I just want to let you know. So Charles,
don't tell anybody out there.
we made a mistake.
Well, people are probably looking for that meditative didgeridoo section that was just completely absent.
It was clear and transparent. That's all.
It's all good. Mistakes are
I
just.
will post it to my audio player, and then I'll send the song to you as a link
Nice.
So you can hear that one with a little meditative section in it.
Nice. And so, guys, mistakes are just opportunities to get more in tune with yourself, and that's all they are.
Yeah, they just create new opportunities.
So, need a new job?
Let's just talk about the If I Tried, which is the main song on the disc that is now available through satellitekill.com. And I want to say thank you to Harry in DeLand, Florida, for playing it in his regular rotation. The next song that you're playing, If I Tried, he tells me it's his favorite song, and he's been listening throughout this and into the webcast, and I want him to know, Harry, this is If I Tried is for you when we get to playing it, and I love you and thank you. Nice. And you guys, thank you for everything. Thanks for letting me do this.
Thank you for coming on and being here.
Yeah,
I really
it's good to talk to you.
It's good to talk to you and connect with you.
I can't wait to see you guys in person.
I know, we miss you too.
I'll be doing everything I can to get back there.
Awesome.
Well, I know it's going to happen, so...
We'll click on your advertisements. Get you here like Zach.
That'll work.
Yeah,
We're
just tell us what
to
click on. We'll click on
that.
The Google police will be after us.
They're going to take us away,
we can
huh?
tell all of our listeners right now, click on the advertisements.
Yeah, click on people's blogs, click on their advertisement because it makes them money.
Yes.
That's nice. I want
Is that
advertisements.
The Google police, is that anything like the phone cops from WKRP in Cincinnati?
Yeah, the difference is that the Google police know exactly where you're at every time.
My favorite comment from WKRP is, honestly, as God is my witness, I did not know turkeys could not fly.
My favorite was, I have a monkey on my foot. when somebody sprinkled cocaine in the station manager's shoe.
Oh. Wow.
He thought it was foot powder.
Oh.
Until he found out it was cocaine.
Until he was high. So, anything you want to wrap up with, Charles, before we, because we got about another, 6 minutes, I guess.
The only things that we haven't really talked about that have been going on here, the Mysterium, that is a place for people of this mindset to go gather here locally in Roanoke. Look up more information on that as well. I'm really excited at the thought of coming back to Florida, especially now after this past couple weeks of just being a complete shut-in. I'd really like to go to the beach. I'd really like to get down there and see you guys. So I'm gonna reinvest my efforts into getting back down there, and I'm so glad you guys still care. It's really good to be talking to you guys all again. This has been a good experience.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Well, Charles, I guess we're gonna wrap up the show, and then hopefully I'll talk to you on text message or on.
Anytime.
Or on Instant Messenger sometime this week.
Anytime.
All right, man. Well, thank you for being on the show, and then I'll talk to you soon.
It's my pleasure. Thank you all so much. You have a great day.
Bye, Charles. We love you.
Love you too.
Sorry, my fault. I'm bad. Cut it off too quick.
All right, so we're just going to wrap up the show here real quick because we got another 4 minutes of the show, and I want to thank you guys for listening, and thanks to Mom and Sylvianne and Vicky. And Vicky for everything she does. She keeps everything sane around on the show. And if I was doing the engineering, things would be going wrong. And
they're chaotic.
And so.
Are you going to tell them how to find your book?
Oh yeah. For those of you guys that don't know, I'm writing a book, and it's due to be released through Beach Haven Publishing Group. And you can find it at millionhugs.com. So it's MILLION hugs.com. And the reason why I'm spelling it out is because there's another website out there called A Million Hugs, and we want to make sure you go to the right one.
Okay.
I'm doing reservations for the book right now. It's due to be released March 1st of 2012. It is called Peace Be Still. And it's going to be about how my personal journey and how I found peace in my life and how I create my world around me. And if any of you know me, I was always a nice person, but inside of myself there was a war going on, and I've learned how to calm a lot of that down and bring it to a very peaceful state. And I look at everything as an opportunity to grow. So even when I am not peaceful, that's my space to learn even more. Anyway, so if you go there, I would really appreciate any help you could guys give me to reserve that book, and that would be a great deal of help for me as well.
Let's talk about Best Said Dead too. I mean,
Oh yeah, and then me and Sylvianne, or Sylvianne and I,
There you go.
and you can also find out. It's called Best Said Dead is a play that we're going to be in. You can also go to millionhugs.com to check that out because my editor and publisher is the playwright for that as well. And I'm playing a character named Augie Summers. Sylvianne is playing Molly Redmond, a female impersonator, even though she's really a female. And then Damien is playing Little Victor Poom. And then now, just recently, we're finding out that Sylvianne's cousin, our niece, Stephanie, is playing Cassie Cuevas. And what this play is about is the battle that's going on in your mind, literally, and all the voices that are trying to pull you in one direction to the next, and the chaos that's going inside of it gets us confused. And I think it's a very profound play that's a comedy.
And it's funny.
And it's funny. And so it's really going to help a lot of people. It's going to have an audio book that everybody can reserve right now. And if you want to get a good laugh at yourself, this is a good audio CD to purchase. And V109, Vicky is doing all of the audio recording for it because she's just awesomeness. And so that's pretty much it, guys.
Thank you, Todd.
Check us out next week. And thank you, Todd Kottmeyer, for all the work that you do.
Absolutely.
And being a part of our family.
Yes.
So, for that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the show about a minute early, and we'll be playing Charles's song Calling on Me? Or Calling?
If I Try.
Oh, If I Try. Sorry.
Okay,
confused.
that's all right.
If I Try.
If I Try.
And so I will hear you guys talk. Hopefully you guys will be listening next week, and have a good week.